Hello, this is Derek Wallace with the Juvo Group. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how the comment system works in the Stillwater Medical Center Nursery. This includes both how to moderate the comments and how the comments are actually entered in the system. To begin with, let's start in the back-end content management portal. We'll go to the Nursery tab and let's look at the watchwords first. This is probably the simplest area of the comment moderation. The watchwords are simply a list of words that are considered profane that we don't want to see in any of the comment message bodies. This list is simply a comma-separated list. We can also put the words on different lines to help readability. It's alphabetized as is. So if you enter any new comments, you'll definitely want to make sure to keep up the alphabetization to help improve readability and searchability. In this case, let's go ahead and add one. It's not particularly a profanity, but it's another word. So we enter it in on a new line, add a comma, and we hit save. And now we have another profanity on our list. Let's go ahead and take that out and save our list again. Most of these words are generic profanities. We do have a couple of words that we specifically don't want to see in the nursery, such as ugliest and ugly. There may also be some other words that we didn't think of that you'll want to add. Okay, let's go and look at some of the more generic general settings. The most important is the auto approve option. When a new comment is created, we can decide to go ahead and auto approve it or not, depending upon whether it contains profanities. If this is selected, then new comments will automatically be approved if they do not contain profanities. If they do contain profanities, they will not be approved, even if this is checked. Now, there's two criteria to determine if a comment is publicly visible. The first is whether it's approved or not, and the second is whether or not the email address used with the comment has been verified in the system. So even though it might be automatically approved, until the email address is verified, it won't be displayed. Here we see that you can specify the administrative emails. These are the email addresses that will receive emails whenever a new comment is posted that has not been approved. The only two cases in which a new comment would not be automatically approved are if auto approve is unchecked or if it contains profanities. You can enter one or more email addresses in this field. Be sure that the email addresses are comma separated. Like so. And we simply hit save and our changes are automatically updated. But in this case, we don't want to actually have that in our system right now for the demo. So let's go ahead and go to the front end. I've created a baby, an example baby we can use to demonstrate the comments. Our first comment that we want to look at is a non-profane comment. The CAPTCHA is required. This prevents automated robots from filling out this form and producing junk results. The CAPTCHA is not case sensitive. The other thing to point out is that this email address has not been verified in our system. So when I submit this message, I get a notice that my message has been received. However, it is not automatically displayed here, even though we have auto approve checked. That's because my email address has not been approved. So if we go back here to the Manage Comments area, we'll see that my comment shows up here. Any comment that is not publicly visible will show up in this list. Here we see why it's not displayed. It's approved, however, it's not verified. If we go to my email account for the demo email address that I entered, and I check my email, sometimes it'll take a minute or two to process. So we'll go back. It is possible that if somebody is having trouble with their email verification, it is possible for you to go back here and manually verify their email address for them. In this case, if I check the verified option, it would automatically verify that email address throughout the entire comment system. So if I use that demo@thejuvo.group email address in multiple comments, all of those comments, if they were pre-approved, would automatically be verified and become immediately visible. We don't want to do that in this case because I want to demonstrate how the verification process works. So I've received the email, and this is what it would look like. This content is editable. The content of the email is editable, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. But the most important thing here is the link. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it takes me to a simple page that lets me know that my email address has been verified. Let's look at what that verification does, both in the back and the front end. Here, if I simply refresh, you'll notice that it no longer is appearing in this list. That's because it is now publicly visible, and we can see that by refreshing the baby page. So here's my new comment. Now notice that this comment now being visible didn't require any direct input from the moderator, because the moderator automatically has auto approve on, and after I verified my email address, the comment now became visible. So if I left another comment that did not contain profanities, and I use that demo@thejuvo.group email address, it automatically appears. So, since only the non-visible comments show up in this list, where do the comments that are visible appear? Those comments can be viewed by the moderator by going to a particular baby entry. So here we see both of those comments, and we see that they're both active and verified. From here, I can change the state of both of these, and I can even delete the comment altogether. What I cannot do is edit any of the information of the comment. Here I've unchecked active, and we'll see that my what a hairy baby comment is no longer visible when I refresh. But if I come back here and reactivate it, we'll see that it is in fact now visible again. The verified option, just like we can check this and it will automatically verify this email address throughout the entire system, I can uncheck it and it will unverify that email address throughout the entire system. So in this case, we have two comments using demo@thejuvo.group.com. Now I'm unverifying it just for this one comment, but we'll see that it in fact unverifies it for all comments, and we'll see that reflected here on the front end when we do a refresh. So now both of those comments are no longer visible. This is useful if you find that a particular email is consistently abusing the system. But we want to go ahead and verify that email address, and then both comments appear again. So the next thing to look at is having a profanity. So we're using a verified email address, but in this case we have the word ugly, which is considered a watchword on the site. So when we submit the message, it doesn't automatically appear. And it doesn't appear back, it does appear back here, but more importantly, it appears here. Now in this case, we've submitted a profane email, so what we should also expect is that an email is sent to the moderator at this email address, which happens to be our demo email. Let's see if that has arrived yet. And there it is. So the subject is online nursery comment submission profanity detected. This will be constant so that you can set up filtering rules. And it just tells us that a new comment has been submitted. If we follow the link, it takes us to our main comment management area. And here we can in fact look at it and say, yes, it contains profanities, let's go ahead and delete it, or we can unverify that particular email address if we want it. In this case, we just want to delete it. As we see, it doesn't show up in any of the comment feeds. Okay. So last but not least, let's go ahead and turn the auto approve off. And let's leave one more final message. And again, we're using demo at the Juvo group, which is an approved or verified email address. Once I've submitted it, I didn't hit save. Okay, so I broke the rule and I forgot to save, but once I saved it, we see that the final message did not come through. And if we refresh this page, we'll see that it shows up here. It shows that the email address is verified, but it has not been approved. If we click approve, come back to the front end, we'll see that it shows up. Okay, so that is how the comments work and how to moderate them. Let's look at how we would edit the email that is sent to verify the comment email address. To find that, we'll go to the Pages tab. Under the main node, Nursery, and the Nursery verification email. Here we would edit that content just like we edit any other page. The only special thing to note is there's a special text here that is contained within the %equal signs. And this is replaced whenever the email is sent with the particular URL that user needs to click. Now, there's two places this is actually represented. If we look in the URL link, the URL itself is the code, and then the text itself is also code. We do this so that the user has the option of either clicking the link or by selecting the text of it and pasting it into their web browser. So to make any changes here, all you would need to do is enter your new text and hit save. What you don't want to do here, because this is an email, is include a lot of fancy formatting, and you definitely cannot include any images. So there are some restrictions here. The best thing to do is just to keep it to plain text, maybe a little bit of bolding or links. So let's be sure and save that. And now whenever a verification email is sent, this is the text that will be used.